And you all, welcome back to Pearls of Eden, and we are on the drive to work morning commute. And I just wanted to talk to you in a world where everybody's trying to get you in your emotions, you better stay vigilant. You better stay alert, because your emotions will lead you to paths of destruction. You have got to seek the Lord in all of your ways and not lean to your own understanding. And I know that can be difficult. That's why sometimes you've got to turn off the news. You've got to turn off the television, and you got to turn on God. You got to make sure you're plugged into the source. I one time heard this preacher say, just like you plug up your phone, you make sure that phone is charged. You make sure that you have your charging ports. You make sure that that phone does not lose its source of power. You're dedicated to it, right? How dedicated are you to make sure that you're not losing your source of power to the voice of God? How dedicated are you to fasting and prayer? How dedicated are you to making sure that you spend time in prayer and in reading the Word of God and seeking His face? Because He is our source of power. He's the one that gives us understanding and directs our steps. And without Him, y'all, we'll be out here in these streets thinking we're doing a good thing, but it's opposing the will of God. Or we can think that we're connecting and aligning to people that are going to help us, but we should never even be in covenant with. And I want to share this with you all, because last night the Lord put this story of Joshua and the Gibeonites in my heart. And I haven't read that story in a while, but it's a good one. I think it's in Joshua 9. But Joshua was deceived, you all, by these people. This nation came to them and they pretended like they were from a faraway land. They, wanted to be a part of Joshua and the Israelites. They wanted to be connected to them. They wanted to be a part of their territory, where they were, right? Whatever, okay? They wanted to also be a part of the blessing, because you have to understand, Joshua and the Israelites' fame, it grew. Everybody wanted to be a part of their story, right? Because people were getting the message that God is with them. Their land is prosperous. They are blessed. They are highly favored. Everything they touch turns to gold, and they wanted to be a part of that. So they come and they deceive the people of God, Joshua in particular, by coming in old ratty clothes. They had, a story. They looked like they were just in need of some help, right? They looked really desperate and despondent. And because Joshua made the mistake of not consulting the Lord, he ended up going into covenant with these people, and they were deceiving. They were full of deception. And even though they just wanted to, have a better life, they wanted to have, be connected to Joshua, they were prospering, they did so deceptively. And the Lord said, because you didn't ask me, you didn't go into covenant with me not in covenant, you didn't go and ask me, should I go into covenant with these people? Now you're stuck with them, because you've already vowed to them that you were going to allow them in the land. Listen, you all. And so these people ended up, Joshua was so upset, but Joshua ended up having to make these people their servants. And so they would now be stuck with the people, but they would serve the Israelites in the next generation. They would be stuck as servants for their deception. Y'all better hear me, and hear me well. What does this have to do with today? I don't know, you all. But I know that the Lord's word is life, and we only prophesy in part. So I would love to hear and see what other people feel and think about, what is this word speaking? But they came into covenant. Joshua, because he didn't seek the Lord, he should have never been in covenant with these people. But now they must be his servant. And they were stuck being the servants of Joshua. So in a way, they were cursed. Ooh. So interesting, right? Got to do some more studying on that. But it comes from Joshua 9, you all. But I think the bigger message in this that we can take away from is, We cannot lean to our emotions. There's a way that seems right, and it leads to distraction. Like, they literally thought Joshua thought he was doing a good deed because he was going off of appearances. Man, appearances can be deceptive, and people can pull on your heartstrings, right? And although they wanted a better life, they were deceptive in how they went about it. That's powerful, you all. God be speaking. This is the power of inquiring of the Lord, because there's nothing new under the sun, you all. What else was the Lord talking to me? The Lord led me to Isaiah 54, where it talks about the future glory of Zion, y'all. And that just really spoke to my spirit, because God has been speaking to me about there being a shift, that we're entering into a greater glory, a great awakening. And I hold on to that promise, and I see it at every turn. And then he said that, in verse 2, get ready to expand. Get ready to enlarge your tents. That speaks of a great prosperity, you all. And I don't know about you, but I'm expectant. I love to be expectant of my God. I know God can do Ephesians 3:20 greater than I can ask, think, or imagine. So you all, this February, my spirit is so expectant, because the other day the Lord said, get ready to prosper, prosperity in the land. And today is a greater glory. Expand your tent. Y'all, you better receive this word. Get ready to expand. Get ready to enlarge your tents. But this word is for a specific people. This word is for those who have hearkened and trusted in the Lord and not in their own understanding. I gave a word last season that the windows of heaven would open. Elijah said to the man of God, to the king, get ready. The windows of heaven will open. And he had someone lean, the king's right man, lean on his arm and say, only could this thing be if there be windows in heaven. And Elijah said, you're going to see this thing, but because you mocked it, because you were unbelieving, because you persecuted the truth, you didn't believe the word of God from the man of God, from the prophet of God, dangerous. You're going to see this thing, but you will not partake of it. And sad to say this, you all, there are many that are going to see the prosperity fall in the land, but because they cursed it, because they mocked it, y'all, they going to miss it. But they going to see it. And that's another thing, and I'll end, the teaching, or the what I'm sharing. I know it's the teaching. The Lord put Psalm 23 in my spirit this morning, and as I lay in bed, I just recited it in my spirit. And God is getting ready to prepare that table before our enemies. He is leading us to green pastures and still waters. And yea, though I walk through the valley of shadow of death, we're getting ready to we are walking through some great shakings in our earth. He is going to lead us to the other side. So be encouraged. These things must take place, but God has a greater plan, because we're entering into a greater glory.